Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about eye dominance. Now, if you've ever put your finger in front of your nose like this and you look at it, you will notice that you see two fingers. Okay. Now, the whole world would look like that all the time if one eye was not dominant over the other. Okay. So one eye has to be dominant. Now, when I get a new trainee, I will generally do an eye dominance test, and it doesn't matter whether they're new shooters or they've been shooting for a long time. You know, I'll still do the eye dominance test. I want to see what their dominant eye is. And what I'll have them do is I'll have them look at something in the distance, okay? Make a small hole like this. Okay, look at it, both eyes open, raise their arms up, look at it through the hole, keep staring, bring it back to their eye, okay? Whatever eye they go to, that's generally their dominant eye. Occasionally I get some omnidominant people like myself, which neither eye is very dominant. So if I'm looking at something towards the left, my left eye tends to take over. If I'm looking at something towards the right, my right eye tends to take over. But most people will generally be very right eye dominant or very left eye dominant. Okay. A lot of times I encounter some resistance from left eye dominant people who have learned to write with their right hand. Okay. And writing is a learned thing. You know, you can learn to write with either hand. I write with both of my hands. Your eye dominance, that's something that's hardwired, okay? You really can't change, which is your dominant eye, okay? So you really have to work off of your eye dominance. And shooting is a seeing thing more than a touchy-feely thing, okay? And to prove it, like let's say I'm aiming at a target over here, right? If my hands are shaking a little bit, okay? As long as my hands are not shaking more than the width of this target, I can still hit the target, okay? However, if I close my eyes and spin around, basically if I don't see the target, I have no chance of hitting it. So seeing is more important than the feeling part, okay? And how comfortable you feel otherwise. So that's the first thing I like to establish with my students. Your eye determines what you really are, and you should be very proficient at shooting on that side. Now, you should also get really good at shooting with your other hand, okay? And I'll explain the reason for that. If I have a barricade here and I'm shooting to the right side of the barricade, okay, I want to have my gun on the right side of my body, okay? If I'm shooting to the left side of the barricade, I want to have the gun on my left side of my body because I'm going to create a smaller profile. Basically, less of my body will be exposed if I'm holding the gun on the left side. All right, so I'll demonstrate this. All right, shooting to the right side. Okay, I'm behind the barricade. Okay, I'm peeking out. Okay. Now, if I'm going to go to the left side, I'll switch to the left side, bring the gun over. Okay. You see a lot less of my body going over that side than if I was on my right side, because now to get to the same target, I got to come out that much more. Okay, so more of my body is exposed, by trying to shoot as a right-handed shooter on the left side. The same thing goes with the handgun. Okay, if I'm shooting to the right side, okay, if I'm shooting to the left side, I want to transfer the gun to my left hand, come out, all right, and shoot on the left side. This way, less of my body is exposed on that side. So as advanced shooters, okay, or people training to be advanced shooters, this is something that we need to get comfortable with, okay? Whether you're going to shoot on your right side or your left side is determined by a situation. That's basically like, well, am I going to scratch myself with my right hand or my left hand? Well, depending on where I got to scratch myself, that's going to determine which hand I use, okay? Very few people, a lot of people that say, yeah, I do everything with my right hand, they don't realize how much they do with their left hand, okay? When you eat, you have a fork and a knife in your left hand, all right? So the two work together, so you are capable of using your left hand. So unless you are actually paralyzed in your left hand, there's no reason why you can't learn to shoot on your left side. Now, one of the things that you gotta be aware of, though, is somebody like myself who's omnidominant. I have the advantage of being able to shoot with both eyes open on either side, because if I am shooting on this side, okay, basically I got both eyes open. If I switch over to my left side, okay, all right, all I have to do is wink my eye for a split second, and then I can open it up. Okay, as soon as I wink my left eye, my right eye rather, my left eye takes over, and now I'm able to shoot with both eyes open. Some people who are very right eye dominant are not going to be able to do that. They're going to have to close their right eye in order to be able to shoot out of their left eye. Okay, you know, and likewise, some people who are very left eye dominant, okay, in order for them to shoot off the right side, they're going to have to close that left eye. So that, you know, I mean, so there's a little bit of a disadvantage in being very right eye dominant or very left eye dominant, but that's, again, that's an eye thing, you know, that has nothing to do with your hands. Your hands can learn to do anything. I mean, I've taught myself to write with both my hands. And if you think about it, when you're working a computer, okay, you work the mouse with your right hand, right? If you put the mouse in your left hand, it feels awkward to you, all right? All right, now let's look at, how about the keyboard, okay? You work some keys with your right hand, some keys with your left hand, and you don't have a problem working the keys on the left side of the board with your left hand. And the reason for that is because you've trained yourself to do that, okay? So you can train your hands to do anything. So this is one of the things I explain to my trainees, because, you know, sometimes I do get trainees that are, you know, very stuck on this idea of that they are right-handed and that's it, and I want them to understand that, you know, you can also be left-handed. You can also shoot on your left side. Even if you're very right eye dominant, you know, you can still shoot on your left side, and that will give you certain advantages, okay? Because again, we're trying to become, you know, advanced shooters. So this is a skill that we need to get good at. You know, which side we shoot from is determined by the circumstances. Is it advantageous to shoot on the right side of our body, or is it advantageous to shoot on the left side of the body? And we have to basically be very comfortable with switching from one to the other as we need to. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.